First up on the show, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau came face-to-face at the ASEAN summit in Laos. This is the second time Trudeau has come face-to-face with Prime Minister Modi since relations went cold in September of 2023. Now, the last time Trudeau and Modi spoke face-to-face was in June on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Italy. While there is no official word from India on this meeting on the sidelines of ASEAN, Trudeau told the reporters that he and Modi had a brief exchange. The Canadian Prime Minister said that he won't go into details about what he talked about, but said that the safety of Canadians and upholding the rule of law is one of the fundamental responsibilities of any Canadian government. And that's what he will stay focused on. Ties between India and Canada went southwards after Trudeau accused India's government of involvement in the killing of a Canadian Sikh activist last year. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistani terrorist, was gunned down by masked men outside a Sikh temple in British Columbia in June 2023. 4 Indian nationals are accused of first-degree murder and conspiracy in connection to his murder in Canada. The high-profile case is currently working its way through Canadian courts. Prime Minister Modi, who is in Laos to attend the ASEAN summit and the East Asia summit, did not have a bilateral meeting with Trudeau. The Indian Prime Minister, however, met a series of world leaders, including meetings with the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese of Australia, one of Canada's Five Eyes intelligence alliance partners. Prime Minister Modi also met the Secretary of State of the United States, Antony Blinken, and the New Zealand Prime Minister on the sidelines of the East Asia summit, as he extended condolences to the Secretary Blinken on the loss of lives due to Hurricane Milton. Now, Prime Minister Modi also addressed the East Asia summit in Laos as the only leader in the room who had participated in the most number of East Asia summits. He was given the rare honor of addressing the summit immediately after the host and the incoming chair. Prime Minister focused on multiple issues pertaining to Global South and pronounced the East Asia summit a pillar of India's Act East policy. Prime Minister Modi called for a peaceful South China Sea, as he asserted the need to follow the principles of freedom of navigation and airspace in the region. The Indian Prime Minister said the focus in the region should be on development and not expansionism. And for the very latest on the Prime Minister's meetings at the two summits, and especially that so-called interaction with Trudeau, our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, sent us this report.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has concluded his visit to Laos. Now, essentially, during his visit to Laos, the focus was on ASEAN summit-level meetings, the India-ASEAN summit and the East Asia summit. The East Asia summit saw the Indian Prime Minister mentioning the situation in Myanmar, backing ASEAN's 5-point consensus. When it comes to South China Sea, he called for stability and peace in that part of the world. Of course, free and open Indo-Pacific phrase that India has been mentioning also was mentioned during the speech. But essentially, as India celebrates a decade of its Act East policy, there has been intensification of the relationship between India and Southeast Asian countries, and this visit of the Indian Prime Minister will further give a fillip and boost to the relationship. With video journalist Ajit Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.